you act like a teenager and you just like go live and then you yell and you play video games all day.
Can we talk about your relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you meet your girlfriend?
I met her streaming. I was live and she was live because she was a streamer. She started the same time as I did. And she used to compete in these like, I don't know if you know like Austin Show, but he used to do like these like dating shows online, kind of like reality TV type stuff, but for live streams.
That's what Minx did.
Yes.
That was the thing Minx did.
Minx did a lot of these. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and she would compete on them and she would win a lot because she was very good at like going above and beyond. She's like a baker, so she would make cakes and stuff for them. And then she would farm like random guys who were streaming for content. So she would just go to their streams and be like, be my chat's dad, and then leave and go to another person, leave, go to another person. And it just came into my stream one time, and then I was like, no, I'm a tier 3 sub to Pokemon, and we just joked around, and then we followed each other, and we started talking, and now we've been dating for almost 3 years.
And how is that balancing relationship while also having a pretty rigorous work schedule?
It helps that she's also a streamer, right? Because there's periods of time where she's way busier than I am. Like she's run events like the Streamer Awards that have got more views than me, XQC, or like Mizkif I've ever gotten. And when she's working on that, she's gone the whole time. So like I get it when she has to do that, and she gets it when I do my stuff. The only time that there was ever a period where she was like, okay, this is way too much, was the subathon, which I get. Because I wasn't even sleeping with her at night. I was sleeping on stream.
She was uncomfortable sleeping in front of the... I mean, that
no,
makes
she wasn't sleeping on the camera. She was by herself
but she
in
was
our room.
uncomfortable to sleep on the camera.
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't have wanted to come.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Of course not. Yeah, that'd be weird.
That would be,
be a little bit weird if we're both sleeping
right.
together.
Yeah.
Didn't even come up.
Get banned for 7 days, Jack.
Yeah, it's only 7 days. So it's been good because I think we both understand the space pretty well.
Do you think you want marriage and kids one day?
For sure, yeah. But it's kind of weird at least where I am right now. I think part of being a streamer is you're also you act like a teenager and you just like go live and then you yell and you play video games all day. And I think it's hard to balance having a family with that. So I think it would be at a point in my life where I am selling bidets and I'm producing streams for other people rather than I'm the person in front of the camera at all times.
Sure.
Is that the end goal?
I think so. Yeah. And that's why I started Off Brand, which is the company that I made with my business friends, H-Rock Sands and Nick Allen, that is just meant to make shows for other people, make productions for other people. Because I thought one day, it was 6 months ago, I was like, why do I have to be the guy in front of the camera all the time? Like, I think I'm a decent host, but I'm not the best at this job. I don't attract the largest audience. I'm not the most palatable. I know how to make a show, and I know most streamers just like being live 10 hours a day so they can make money, but won't put the effort in and the work in the hours in a day to actually make a show. So why don't I do that work for them? Why don't I get funding for it? Why didn't I sell on it, take a larger cut from it, and then just produce it, have them create their greatest thing they will do that year in terms of viewership and critical acclaim, and just be behind the camera.
What do you mean by a show?
I think as opposed to an average stream, right? So most streams is just dude behind camera, and there's not really a way to build upon that. And oftentimes when you do, it feels inauthentic. Like if you have an insane setup with the 5 cameras and dog cam, it's too professional, and it's hard to relate to the person behind that. But the meta and the thing that has been succeeding a lot for streams is a large scale production. So I don't know if you know the Spanish streamer Ibai, but he does these large productions very frequently. He has a huge team in Spain, and he got I think 3 million live concurrent viewers on a boxing event he ran, which is the record for the most viewers on any live stream. In these events, you can think of them in the same way as Mr. Beast's Loss Leader. Almost assuredly, it's a huge cost to run this, and it'd be much cheaper and he'd make much more money if he just sat behind a camera at his room playing Minecraft. But they bring in so many new eyes that then his daily streams get a lot more views. And he'll do a lot of these at a very high rate. And so I've run a couple of these, like I did a a Jeopardy clone called Mogul Money.
Yeah.
And it got 150,000 viewers live, and we had an in-person audience of 6,500 people. And it was probably like the greatest live streaming event I've done to date. And it lost money, but it will funnel in people for live streams in the future.
Wasn't that the one where a sponsor backed out? Wasn't that the reason why it was a loss? Like, you would have made money had it not been for that.
I think so. We definitely didn't hold back on spending. Like I booked the venue for an extra rehearsal day, which cost $75K. And I think if I hadn't bought that, we probably even would have broke even. But yeah, that was the biggest one, is that Coinbase was our sponsor, and then crypto crashed, and then they just pulled out of all verbal agreements because they just couldn't pay for it anymore.
Right.
So yeah, the events should make money. Usually the first ones don't, because like it's proof of concept. Brands are very risk averse. But after doing like that one, if I do another one, I know that will probably make money.
Now, how do you balance that between, I think, more of like an amateurish take, which could do better because it feels more relatable? Like when I see big shows like that, I appreciate all the work and the production that goes on. But then I think it feels less like I'm there sitting in the room because of how produced it feels. Like I'm watching a TV show.
Right.
How do you find the balance between that?
I think it's always important to make it feel like an event that you cannot miss, that has that urgency that you were there to see live. And it doesn't necessarily need that one-on-one feeling as if you were watching a friend behind a camera, as long as it feels like something that was worth your time to watch. So like in December, I'm running a chess boxing event, and I've lined up about 7 to 9 matches. We'll see how many we get at the end of it. And I think like that's an event that you need to watch live, because if you don't, you're going to hear who won on Twitter. You're going to see who won on Twitter, whatever it is. And it will feel a lot less rewarding to watch the VOD of it.
What's chess boxing?
The coolest sport ever, dude.
What?
It is one round of chess, and then you switch for one round of boxing, and you alternate until somebody wins by checkmate or knockout.
Are you serious? Wait.
What?
So it's just two people going back and forth?
Yeah.
Wait, one round of chess?
Yeah, you play 2 minutes of chess, and then after the chess portion, you switch. You do boxing for 90 seconds. You switch back to chess.
How do you do boxing for 90 seconds and like put the gloves on and have that be like...
So for the boxing specifically, for chess, you have one glove on, you're wrapped up, and then the other one is wrapped, but you have one glove off, and then you have to choose your chess hand. And then you play chess with that hand. And then you have like a 30-second, we'll have a trainer come out, put the glove on, make sure you're good to go, have the referee clear everything, and then they box for 90 seconds.
What if it's like 10 rounds that people have to go?
There's a maximum. So the chess is a timed chess. It's going to be like 5 minutes of chess with 0 seconds added per move. So you will guaranteed lose by time if you are not, moving quickly enough.
Now, my thought is with the boxing, removing the glove is a big deal.
Yeah.
Have you thought about the timing it would take between like playing a round of chess? Like I'm guessing it's probably 10 minutes for someone to sign off on that glove to make sure it's...
No, so chess boxing's a real sport. Like it's a sanctioned sport. There's associations in almost every single state, and they do this professionally. And so the turnaround time is actually a lot faster than you'd think to sign off on it. It's about 30 seconds at when it's functioning at its best. Because it's only one glove you need to have on, and you keep the wraps on.
Who is going to be boxing? Could you reveal any names? Give us some.
So initially, I thought about doing it, but I really want to host the event, and I want to be commentating the events. And I think if I had a fight that day, and then I had to switch from host to fighting, that'd be impossible.
Yeah, I agree.
So I haven't been able to pull this together. This is the last piece of the puzzle that I'm missing, but I want to slap box someone. Which is, I don't know if you've ever seen Moist Critical's videos on this. It's a real thing. It's mostly like Eastern European sport, but you just have 2 men, huge burly men, and they stand there. They're not allowed to move. And then another person across from them slaps them. And you just keep going back and forth until someone quits or passes out.
I've seen it. I don't get the point. Am I the only one who just, I don't...
What's the point of BME Pain Olympics? It's all content, baby. Come on. Man slaps man in the face, man falls. That's fun to watch.
Is it a sport or is it just like entertaining?
It's a sport,
too. Sport.
Like there's actual competition.
And I've seen like the crowds it generates, but
so this would be
a
slap chess boxing. So we would slap each other, then make a move, slap each other, make a move.
When is this going to be live? When could people see it?
December 11th, we have the Galen Center, which is like where USC does their basketball games.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, we're trying to get a crowd of like 10K out and just make it real hype.
I would go to that.
That
Should
would
be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be in LA.
It's in
I'd
LA.
be there.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be in
yeah,
LA.
USC.
Yeah, USC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'd go to that.
Yeah, I'd go. That'd be fun.
I would love to go as like a spectator and
Right.
watch, but there's a lot of training that goes on for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They've been training for like most everyone, like, at least the past 2, maybe 3 months. It's been like 5-6 months of lead time, which isn't the most in the world, honestly. But at least everybody started with the same like totally amateur knowledge of boxing. You did it.
Yeah, I started with 6. I had 6 months.
Yeah.
But I really was serious about it for 4
Okay.
of those 6 months.
What's serious? Like how often were you going?
3 to 4 times a week for an hour, but I should have sparred more. The last month I started sparring, but I only did a few times, and I should have been doing sparring, I don't know, after 2 months of doing it.
Right.
And just like, you know, light rounds just to get used to it. But that was my one regret, is not doing that more.
Because is it jarring to get punched, and that's like you need to get accustomed to that?
Yeah, that was where I feel like I could have improved, because once I got hit in the head, I've never been hit in the head like that before.
Right.
Because when you're wearing the headgear, it's a bigger target, but it's not so like crazy. And when you're doing a you know, sparring, it's not quite the same intensity with like people around. But yeah, when you're hit in the head, it's so weird. It's kind of like, imagine like blinking for like a split second, things just go and then come back. It doesn't hurt, which is strange. I thought it would hurt.
Yeah.
But it's just that weird like out, back in, and it takes you like a few seconds to just get your bearings and be like, all right, I'm standing here, this is what's going on. But you don't have that time. It's like you have a split second, and then, at least for me, I got hit once, kind of went out, came back in. It was like, came back thinking for a split second, like, oh, that was, and then boom, happens again. So that's something that I think you need to get used to, like getting
so you can
punched.
instinctually, in that feeling when you know you're going out, maybe put your guard up.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me. And I also think it should be better because of the extra break time in between rounds. I expect everyone will become pretty fresh, and the guard will be, you know, you'll be. It's not gonna. Your hands are gonna be heavy. You know, you're gonna be able to lift up the gloves because you have 2.5 minutes in between each round. So, you know, I'm hoping everyone comes out of it.
Yeah, I think that break, that 2.5 minutes, is going to set people up to be really energized when they come back in. So each round is going to be full intensity.
Yeah, because what happened, like even like the iDubbbz fights, like at the end of it, they're just cooked.
Yeah,
which is like, it's like a cardio thing. And so I think that break is going to make it more casual, but also make everyone feel a little bit better doing it.
Yeah, it was weird watching Logan fight Mayweather. And I remember round like 5 or 6, or I forget how many. I think they went 8 rounds.
9 rounds, right?
Or maybe it was 9.
Yeah.
And I remember like round 5, I'm like, Mayweather seemed like he was just doing just fine, but Logan was tired.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, that's easy. Why is he tired? I don't get it. But oh man, you're like end of round 1 and you're just winded. You can't explain. It's like running as fast as you can without a break for 3 minutes. And then expecting you to be like, still have energy after that. It's insane.
Yeah, the time's so short, so I think people's expectations are you'd be fine, but
no.
Like if you just actually, I went to one boxing training. They made us do jumping jacks for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I was cooked.
Yeah,
that's not even boxing. I was just doing jumping jacks. Well, I couldn't feel my calves the next day. I was like, okay, I get it. You can tire yourself out real quick.
A lot of it too is mental. It's the thinking through, what are they going to do? It's your mind racing at the same time that you're, you know, physically exerting yourself.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I think it's the combination of the two.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the next event. I'm pretty excited for it.
And so how does that work money-wise? Do you have sponsors covering it? Are you selling tickets? Is there an expected ROI? You're looking to break even?
Is it pay-per-view?
No, it'll be totally I want it to be my most viewed stream ever. So currently that's like 205,000, which was the end of the subathon, concurrent viewers. And I'd like for this to be the most. So it's not going to be pay-per-view, because I think pay-per-view is also like, yeah, maybe you pull $1 million, you know, maybe $2 million in like sales, but I don't think that's worth the loss in like cultural momentum by creating something that people care about and watch and talk about. So the main way that I'm hoping to make money is ticket sales and sponsors. I don't really know. I don't think I've already spent about $500,000 just for all the people who are competing in it, and just paying them, making sure that they're covered for all their boxing time and food, because that's not cheap. And so I'm not exactly sure where this will come down. I mean, it has a lot of seats, so maybe it'll make money, but I'm also very happy if this breaks even and I just have a really cool event.
Yeah.